heard y'all was still trying to figure out if you should get your LPN or your CNA before you go to RN school. Good thing you got me. Girl is a new grad BSN RN who currently works at a step-down unit at a level 2 trauma hospital. Before that, I was an LPN for 4 years, and even before that, I had been a CNA.
Let me show you how to move. Let me show you how to get that bag.
My name is Alexis. Like I said, I am a new grad RN who just graduated and made with my BSN. I'm also a LPN. I've been a CNA. I am a mom. I don't really call myself a content creator, but I said, hey, everybody else can do it. So I'm gonna give it a shot. But right now, I just love YouTube and I love TikTok too. But YouTube has my heart. Like, I will literally sit and watch YouTube all day. Like I said, so many people have always want to know if they should do the LPN route first, or should they do the CNA? Will it help with nursing school? And like I said, I've done it all, so I feel like I'm the perfect person to talk about this with. So we're gonna talk about pros and cons of being an LPN or a CNA before going to RN school. And I do have my phone because I do have like a little checklist just to help me as I go. So right now I am currently on a step down unit. I think I'm on like week 4 or 5 with my orientation. So far it's been going really well. Before then, I have been an LPN for 4 years. I decided to go back for my RN once I found out I was pregnant with my son, and there was a program near me that was perfect. It was a LPN, a BSN online program. Clinicals was every Saturday. It was a little expensive, but considering the fact that I was a new mom and I had experience, I thought this was the perfect time to go back to school before my son got too old. So that's a little bit how I got to where I am today in my role. But as an LPN, I have done everything. I have done assisted living, I've done ER, I've done nursing home, rehab. I've literally done it all. So when I first started school, I still had my full-time job, because basically how the program was set up, it was set up for like working moms and people who still work, people who had kids and families. So for the most part, I did kind of keep my full-time job, and then midway I switched to agency. Since I had been everywhere and knew how to work like multiple systems, I just betted on myself and I just went agency, and it was the best thing I could have done, because for one, you get to make your own schedule. You choose what days you want to work. So I would like work around my test days and clinical days and whatever the case may be. So I feel like that was the perfect opportunity. So if you are currently an LPN and you want to go back to RN school, but you don't know how to pay for it, look into agencies and PRN jobs in your area, because that is going to help you tremendously, because you get paid more from being a contractor. But anyways, that's a little bit about me and my LPN background. Alright, so first let's talk about the difference between LPN and RN, because a lot of people still don't get it, but it's okay. So first of all, LPN is a licensed practical nurse. Technically, when you graduate, it's a technical degree. It's not like an associate's degree, but LPNs and RNs, they both sit for NCLEXs. The difference is the scope of practice. LPNs are still considered a nurse. Okay, still considered a nurse, and we just both still sit for the NCLEX, but the scope of practice is not as broad as an RN. And also in other areas, they might call it LVN, but it's the same thing. But you can still work in a hospital. You don't have to just work in a nursing home. You can work in a clinic, you can work at home health, you can work at hospice, and all of that. So if you are somebody, I feel like if you are somebody who have kids or a family, or you might not just have a support system and you still want to make money to help you while you obtain your RN, then I definitely feel like LPN is a good route. We are accepted in literally all areas, so don't let people tell you, because even when I was getting my LPN, I was told the whole time, oh, they're phasing out LPNs, they're not going to be using them anymore, baby. LPN is a shortage for LPNs just as much as it is an RN. So please do not let people detour you from what you really want to do. If you want to get your LPN first, go do that. It's always be a job. A nurse is a nurse, and there's a nursing shortage, and there's always going to be a job for us. So RN is your registered nurse. So there are two kind of RNs. It's basically based off education. One, you can go to a community college. You're going to get your associates in nursing. And then if you go to a university, you're going to get your bachelor's of nursing. The only difference is the education. You're going to sit for the same NCLEX. Some hospitals might prefer a bachelor's. It really depends on your area. You might get a pay raise, but didn't really see a difference in pay when it comes to those degrees, unless you are somebody who wants to go get your NP or your master's, or you want to be in administration or something like that. Then you will go ahead and get your bachelor's. But if you get your associates, that's fine, because like I said, it's literally the same thing. The education is just different, but the pay is the same, and you both sit for the NCLEX. Should you become an LPN first? Personally, I love being an LPN. The reason why I even went the LPN route, because for one, my program was only 12 months. Some LPN programs are shorter than 12 months. I don't know an LPN program that's longer than 12 months unless you do like a nights and weekend thing. Then you might be like 16 months, but I've never seen an LPN program 2 years. Versus an RN program, it's going to be 2 years automatically. If you get your BS in, you need 2 years of prereqs and then 2 years of actual like nursing school. Alright, so the next thing I want to talk about is, should you be a CNA before you go to nursing school? And it's kind of the same as LPN. The money is not as good, but you still learn that foundation. You learn the hygiene, you learn how to track meals, percentages of meals, of what people ate, transfers. It is some hard work, I'm not gonna lie. People saying like, but it is very rewarding. I loved being CNA. I traveled during the pandemic, during when I was a CNA. It made me who I am today, because it made me a better nurse as well. So I always love to help my CNAs, and it's not one of those things where it's like, dang, I don't know how to do it. I've been a CNA before. If I'm in the patient room, I just go ahead and get it out the way. And trust me, if you are a nurse that is willing to help your CNAs, that CNA is going to make your shift so much better. I'm telling y'all, a shift goes by so much smoother when you have a good CNA, or a CNA that has your back, versus a CNA who would not help you do anything. I'm telling you, there is another thing that's on your list it literally might take you over the edge. I'm not gonna lie. Depending on where you work, like, nursing is very overwhelming. Please help your CNAs. Please help them. Like help your CNAs. So as far as, I feel like you are still getting a rewarding career getting your CNA before nursing school. Now I will say, when I went to LPN school from being a CNA, I had to get out of my mind that nursing school teaches you how to pass the NCLEX. Okay? Nursing school teaches you how to pass the NCLEX. Nursing school does not teach you how to work the floor. Clinicals, it should be, and I just have my own opinion about clinicals in nursing school. They should allow you to do much more, but they teach you how to pass the NCLEX. When you're taking those exams, it's not about what you're going to do in real life. It's about how to pass the NCLEX, because in the NCLEX, it's a perfect world, and we all know this world is so far from perfect. So I had to get out of the CNA mindset and just think about I just couldn't think about the real world. I have to think about, okay, if I was at work, but it has to be a perfect world. We're not going to run out of supplies. This is not going to happen. We're not going to be understaffed. So I will say, once you go into that route, and the same thing for LPN, when you're an LPN and before you go back to RN, you have to really dig into your scope of practice. There might be things that you're doing as an LPN that technically, by your scope of practice, you can't do. Or you should be doing. Like, you have to really dig into your scope of practice as far as NCLEX wise, because like I said, it's not a perfect world out here. And it also depends state to state. Some LPNs can do this thing in one state and another. When I worked in Tennessee, I could do a lot more. In the ER, I was doing all kinds of things. I was pushing IV meds. I was doing so much more. And then when I came back to Mississippi and transferred my license, I realized my scope of practice got so much smaller. But anyways, yeah. So you do have to think about, when you are going to school, yes, I feel like it helps. It helps. To have that foundation, it's always going to be a plus for me. Please remember that they are teaching you how to pass the NCLEX and get your license. And once you pass and get your license, because you are going to pass the NCLEX, when you get on the real world and you do your preceptor or whatever you're training, make the most out of it. Learn as much as you can, because that's where the learning really comes through. Putting everything together, those skills, and just it's literally like I can't even talk about it. I can't even explain, but sometimes it don't make sense until you get on that floor. But you really need to make the best of it. Nursing is serious, because these licenses are serious, and now nurses are going to jail. Nurses are going to prison more than doctors. Like, everything literally falls on us. But that's we're gonna talk about that later. Being a nurse, we can talk about that in another video. But I need you to take your license serious, because it is serious. It's a very serious job. And to wrap everything up, if you are somebody, like I said, if you need to make money, or financially you feel like this is something you need to do, or you ready to be in a career, or you're not ready to commit to a full 2 years or 4 years, whatever the case may be, and you need to go a different route, do what's best for you. Financially, CNA and LPN both helped me financially get those certifications. Those CNA and LPN both helped me financially get the next degree. CNA helped me because I was able to go agency and PRN, and I even was able to travel. I took a travel assignment while I was in LPN school. We were out for Christmas break. It was like a month. I took a 4-week contract in Colorado. I saved my money, and I used that money to take myself to the end. LPN, same way. I still kept my full-time job. I went PRN, I went agency. That money was even better, and I was able to do what I need to do, pay my bills, and take care of my son. And now that I'm an RN, I am so grateful. Yes, we definitely make more money, but I am also just blessed to be in a career where I will always be able to have a job. I will be able to get on my feet and financially take care of my bills financially, and take care of my kid as far as financial wise. So yeah. Also, I think the most important thing is, when you are trying to figure out which path is best for you, please listen to your heart. Do not listen to everybody. If you feel like you need to go ahead and work, or you need something to fall back on, instead of committing to 2 years, get your LPN. Do not let people make you feel like a LPN don't do nothing, or LPN not a nurse, or they're phasing out LPNs. They are not. They are not. I'm telling you, we can work in every area that RN can work at. We can work at as well. LPNs can work at as well. Matter of fact, I still have my LPN license, and I literally just picked up yesterday, the past 2 days, as an LPN. So even when you're RN and you still want to pick up at a facility that you like, or agency, the agency money is still better than staff money. Sometimes the agency money is better than a staff RN job, depending on how much experience you have. But just make sure you listen to your heart and do what's best for you, because people will like to deter, and people like to downplay LPNs. But like I said, LPNs are still nurses. Even if you don't know if you want to be a nurse, but you want to see, I say do it. Like, go get your CNA. Being a CNA will show you how it is as a nurse, how it is in a hospital, how it is in the healthcare field. Some people become CNAs and realize nursing is not what they want to do, and that's okay. If that's something that you just want to do to make sure that this is the route for you, do it. It's like, literally do it. It's always good to have something under your belt. Any type of certification, license, technical degree, any of that, it's always good to have under your belt, because you will always have something to fall back on. You will always be able to find a job. This career is so rewarding, and I am so blessed. I literally tell God all the time, like, I am so blessed. Like, thank you for allowing me to be able to not only pass and finish RN school, but to pass the NCLEX on the first try, and to already have had a job before I graduated. Any questions, please comment them down below. Or if you want to know more about my nursing journey, let me know too, because I'm open to talk about my nursing journey as a whole versus just talking about my experience from being in every role. I've literally climbed the ladder. Y'all have a great day. Thank y'all for watching. Like I said, if you like my content, like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to try to be more consistent. But yeah.